This is Rick Passek, the FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today we'll be tying a tropical pattern. It's just another variation of a shrimp pattern for permits and bones and all kinds of other tropical fish that you can catch down there in the inland waters, whether it's in Mexico or other places. So if you're a fly tyer or a fly fisher that likes heading in that direction, this is one for you. Like I said, it's a variation. I do tie several other variations. I can show you another variation of the same fly, just a way bigger. So similar to there's these here, right? So this is kind of going to be a similar version of that, but a different using different materials. So, alrighty, let's get her going. So unfortunately, I don't know the number of this hook. I got it in a Hens BL724 package, but it's not. It is a Partridge hook. I can't remember what the number is. So just look in the description. I'll make sure I put that in. I'm going to be using some Semperfli Nanosilk in copper. I'm going to be using some shrimp eyes in orange, small. I'm going to be using some marabou. This is Hens marabou, the light olive. And I will be using some the Hens Spectra dubbing. I'll be using two different colors. This orange, which is number they're 35, and I'll be using the one right beside it, number 29. This kind of this browny color, rusty color. Let's get her going. Oh, and sorry, and a piece of hackle as well. So this is actually from my manager. He slaughtered one of his roosters. So okay, let us switch over to the. Oh, what am I saying? I already did. Let's get tying. I'm experimenting with all this new and newer technology and way these things are set up. And I was experimenting for a while and with different stuff, and it drove me nuts. So I kind of went back to my original way of recording because it was really just getting to me. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of marabou here, and I'm going to tie this in. What I'm going to do is right about where my fingers are here now. You can see that the stem starts getting thicker, so I'm just going to cut right into there, right at just that stem portion, and just take that out. Just the little piece. It's kind of hard for you guys to see, but it's just I don't want that thick stem. So now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to tie this all in just by the tip of the marabou here. And then I will move my thread up. And I'm just going to take my time. This does take a little bit of time here to get this right so you don't pile it up. And I'm just going to make sure I stroke all my material back every time I come around. And I want to get a bit of a bulk going right at the back end before I start moving. So I'll probably do 3 or 4 turns, maybe even 5, depending on the feather, right at the back before I do anything. So now I'll start slowly just moving forward, touching wraps. And then once it starts getting thicker, I'll go into open wraps. And I'm just going to come forward about a half an inch or so with this. What this is doing is it's laying down just stroking that out to make sure I'm not catching anything. It's laying down a tail by doing this, but it's also building a little bit of the body up in the back end here. So again, if you see that material's getting caught, just hit it with your brush. Just keep on coming forward until you got what your desired amount. I don't like having too huge of this portion here, but you definitely want to have enough because this obviously when it gets wet, this will thin out, right? It'll slick back. like I said, this tail section can take, well, it definitely takes the longest in the whole fly, but can take just a little bit of time. So just come around and I'll just tie that off. Don't worry what it looks like right at the beginning here. Get rid of my hackle pliers. Nip off that little piece of excess stem there that we were holding on to. Then I'm going to take my brush, just go around and just brush any of those fibers that were caught when going around. Okay, so now I'm just going to make sure that's all tightened out, and I'm actually going to go right back over top of this all the way back to the point of the hook. So about there. Okay, now if you find that too long, you can cut it. I like leaving these a little bit on the longer side. I can always trim them down in the water, right? I can't add to it on the water though. So, and then, oh, right, I forgot about one thing. I like putting just one little tiny piece of a pearl flash in just to help with just a slightest little bit of flash in there for attention. So just one little piece. This is Semperfli mirror pearl, the one I'm using right here. So just one along each side. This is not a necessary step, but it's just like I said, it's just one of those little, wait, what's that, right? Just an extra little bit of attractant. So now what I like doing is I'll take a little bit of the number 29, that rusty kind of brown, and I'm just going to put a bit of a noodle on here. And I'm going to come back right to the point there. And I'm just going to build up a bit of a ball here for my eyes to be up against. So when I put my eyes on, they've got a way to be forced out, splayed out. Take one, and I want it about maybe halfway back on the tail at the most on this side. So I'm just gonna make sure it stays right on my side here, and you'll see better when I do your side. Okay, so I'm gonna do this right onto your side. I'm not worried about the length right now. I can adjust that in a second. So that is a bit short, so I'm just gonna pull it out just a bit. As I crank, I'm gonna actually put this right along your side. Okay, let's see. Come on. Come on back all the way. Now I'm just going to build up right up against that ball. I want this to get forced out. And then what I'll do is I'll actually take them and I'll just give them a bit of a pinch. A bit of a, get away from the marabou, just a bit of a pinch, that just helps hold them out. Okay. And I'll come forward to about there. Take my, I don't know where did I put them? My junky scissors, because I don't like cutting this heavy, thick marabou with these junky scissors, with good scissors. So, sorry, I'm just going to give this a twist. Which comes, yeah, this big, heavy mono. Sorry, yeah, it's not very nice on your scissors. So now I'm just going to come back just a little bit more, just to force those right up against that bulge. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of that orange, pretty good chunk of it, pretty good chunk. Sorry. Okay, and I'm actually just going to stack it. Pull, stack, pull, stack, pull, stack. Okay. And I'm actually going to just tie this in about halfway like that. And then I'm going to split it And I'm going to bring it down underneath and just tie that in. Back over top of that again. Okay, take my brush. Some of this is going to come out. That's okay. That's why I put extra in. Okay. So now I'm going to take my hackle and I'm just going to nip it off of the center stem here, just where the fluff starts. Just nip that off. And I'm just going to tie this in by the butt, nice and tight. Okay. Now back over again. Now it's up to you. You can do a dubbing loop. You can do it like this. It's up to you. I like just doing a waxed, just with wax. And then I'm going to grab that number 29 again, that darker color. Now you can adjust this. You can make this one. I stay with what I've done at the back, and then make this portion here into more of a bone color or cream, dark cream, so you can kind of mix it up. It's up to you. Um, the Vicuna dubbing came out has one that's Caenic or something like that. I can't pronounce it. Caenec or something like that. That's kind of a pan. You can see that right here. Nope, don't have it right here. I thought I did, but um, yeah, that tan colored one. It's oh, yeah, here it is. So one I use a lot for where's it there? It's the one I use a lot for my shrimp pattern. So especially for bones and stuff, it's the right color. So again, just going to come over it. I want to make sure I create a bit of a taper here. I want this tapering down to almost nothing. Okay, like so. Then I'm going to take my hackle plier. Just make sure this is all stroked back. This hackle I got from my manager from one of his roosters is really nice and supple. Really like this stuff. So I'm just going to do 4 or 5 turns forward. No, don't go nuts. Tie that off. Slick it all back, all that material back. Build up a head going backwards to force all that hackle backwards. Okay, actually, I'm going to just zoom out just a little bit so you guys can see the whole thing. Just going to cut that off. Just make sure that's all nicely slicked back. I said build up a bit of a head forcing that hackle backwards. I got to be careful here. I'm almost out of my thread. This roll, figured I could get it all done. It's getting close. So I'm just going to whip finish, and then I still got to do a little bit of work just pruning it. But 1, 2 sets. Cut that off. And then I'll just preen this a little bit. I like getting in there and making sure those feathers are separated. I even go in there with my Velcro brush and get that dubbing that's underneath, that darker stuff. Make that pulled out a bit, just a little bit. And then there's your finished tropical shrimp pattern. Prawn pattern, shrimp pattern. Works really well with for sea trout as well. Again, different colors. So yeah, but that's it. I said not super uber difficult, but I tie these also with I used like the one I showed you there. It's got the more the rubber legs and stuff. Um, it depends on what they're looking for, right? What kind of movement they're looking for. So But yeah, I really like this pattern. This one's always done well for me and many others. It's not my pattern by any means. I don't know who originated it, but it's just a pattern that works. So, righty. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Um, give her a shot. Let me know how it goes for you, and feel free to contact me if you guys are having any issues. And yeah, hope you guys have subscribed and are enjoying this stuff. And if you haven't, please subscribe. Think of doing that. And see you guys on the next tying video. Tie lines, everyone.